Hi! Before we start the video, I want to give a special thank you to my Chewy Art Club members. By donating $2 a month, you're able to support me and all the artwork I create. So this is a special thank you going out to Sleeping for the Weekend. Now, on to the video. Hi! It's me, Toby, the so-called artist, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of digital art. I would like to start off with saying Happy Pride Month, everybody. We've made it another month successfully. And today, I forgot that my iPad background is Wanho. I have a massive crush on Wanho, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're going to be talking about some old artwork. This is an illustration that I did August 28th of 2021, so almost like 4 years ago. And out of all the things I've drawn, this is the one thing where I absolutely hate it. I hate it. And I don't hate it because of its like style or the fashion choices, because there are choices here that I made. I hate it because it's bad. Like, this is my old artwork, so I'm allowed to say it, but proportionally, the face is busted. There's no skull. The eyes are going this way, mouth is going this way. It's busted. And then the body, there's no torso. It's just bust and then hips. There's no stomach, no nothing. I didn't account for anything. And it's upsetting every time I look at it. I don't think I have this posted anywhere. Granted, I did I deleted all of my old social media during 2020 and I just started over. But this was 2021. So this for sure would have been posted somewhere. But I can't find it on any of my art accounts. So I think I really just disliked it so much, even when I made it, that I just didn't post it. And so today I want to redo it, but with some flair. Because this is how I used to draw myself. If you don't know, a lot of artists have like art sonas or caricatures of themselves that they use on the internet. I have had a long list of different designs, but I do have a new one. I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of it while I'm sketching. I haven't finished coloring it. I did show them off in my most recent pride drawing, but here they are. I'm not done coloring this piece, but they are going to be a heartbeat. I do have a pride illustration I did. So if you were on my Instagram or my Ko-fi page, you would have seen my little pride artwork of them. I don't know why my camera refuses to focus on anything, but here they are. They are a heartbeat. And I want to redo, that illustration better with my new art sona. So I'm gonna have them over to the side. I'm gonna have my book like that. Well, you guys can't see it, but just know that my little sketchbook is up here to the side. I'm referencing it, if it will stay open. There it is. Okay. So I want to record the sketch this way, and then everything else is going to be time-lapse video footage. So enjoy. Okay, so a little backstory to the actual drawing that I'm redrawing today, or in the video. This was how I used to draw myself. Like I mentioned earlier, I liked drawing my art sonas as very realistic one-to-one recreations of myself. But the outfit is a reference to an outfit that so I made a webcomic when I was 18 called Perception. And in that webcomic, I had a superhero outfit that had the primary colors as the main color palette for the outfit, but that's because the first Copics markers that I had was the primary set. So those were all the colors I had at my, in my hands. So I had to use all of them, of course, in one illustration every single time to show off my Copic markers. So the outfit with the cloak and everything, I'm gonna see if I can put an image here of the outfit that my superhero self would wear in the comic. So this outfit that I'm drawing here was a magical girl version of that outfit, because I was very back and forth with not wanting to be super girly, but I still like skirts and frilly things. Everyone has those, when you're growing up trying to figure out your style and everything. You don't want to conform to stereotypes, but you also enjoy other things in media. So it was a lot of back and forth with wardrobe. So I made this magical girl version with a magic staff that I did change to be a morning star, because I'm not so much of a I'll use magic kind of person when it comes to if I was in a fantasy realm. If I was in a fantasy realm, I'd be a fighter. I'm throwing hands. I would pick up a weapon. I'm picking up a rock. I'm not casting a spell. You're getting clunked in the head with a heavy object. So I changed the magic wand to be a morning star, which is one of my favorite weapons. Alternatively, I was going to do a crowbar because I really like crowbars, but I dialed it back for something that would fit more into the theme of this drawing. Although, magical girls nowadays, they do, use metal pipes. If you know, you know. So there's no limit to what I could use as a magic weapon. Anyway, let's get back on track for the illustration. Here I'm just redrawing the outfit. I was fighting with the collar, trying to figure like how much of a popped collar I wanted it to be. And I didn't like the shirt or like overcoat situation going on. So I decided to just change it to be a shirt and like let the skirt be a skirt. Because I felt like when I was going back over the illustration, the cloak kind of didn't work with the way that it was flowing. I know what I was going for, but it just didn't work out well, especially with like the background element star. There was a lot of lines going on that didn't make a lot of sense, so I wanted to give the body room to flow and like have the clothing like accent what was going on instead of it directing the piece. I did add back some of those flowy elements with these big old bows and ribbons on certain things. Like I did one for the hair and one on the morning star so that it would make like a circle around the character that you could focus on. I do a lot of back and forth sketching. I like separating my sketches digitally by like body, outfit, props, and then like defining features of the character. Like right now I'm working on my defining features, which was like my hair and then the wings of their hair. And so to break it down, my new Artsona is a harpy. Or like it's like a in between harpies, and I really like old mythology. So like old school sirens were actually winged creatures and not creatures with mermaid tails. Those are mermaids. But there's overlap depending on the mythology you look into. I just wanted to loosely base it off of like siren, harpy. So I wanted them to be more bird-like. So I saw this anime where the girl had like wings for her hair, and I thought that was so cool. And then I was just like, how come I don't ever see like cool stuff like that but with black hair? And I'm like, well, if I don't find it, I just have to do it myself. And so I did it myself. And they do have like bird feet and like a little tail, because I thought it would be really cute to have like a curly tail to match my curly hair. The face did give me a lot of problems in this drawing. You'll see me go back and forth with like the eyes and the nose. That was the one area where I really wanted it to look better, because in the original illustration, the face was just not it. And I was trying to get the eyes to like really pop, but I couldn't get like the positioning to look right, especially with like the open mouth smile or the nose. So I decided to go for, you'll see in a second, a closed eye look, so that you still get like a lot of that face detailing, but it looks more natural. I do fight with my brush sizes when I'm sketching. I think it's important to have a lot of like back and forth sketch layers. If you want a good illustration, you gotta hit that drawing board. You gotta go back and forth with it. And I love a good ribbon, like not ribbon, what is it? Ruffle? Yes, good ruffles on a skirt. So I went back and forth with that. I still fight with like pressure sensitivity on my pencil because I'm so used to being able to take a normal pencil and sketch across something. But when you're using the iPad, it will do a lighter line, and that's not what I like. I don't know how to change it, and so I will just have to deal with it. Also, this is like a spoiler for later in the illustration. I hope none of you are super attached to the armor that I put on the legs because those are gone. Those are gonzo. I removed that detail from the drawing. I just didn't like it. It didn't look like it was like flowing well with the illustration. I think it's because the front of it, I wanted to do like that triangle kind of angled piece on the front. Didn't look good. I did not like it outside of the sketch, so it is gonzo. But moving on to the rest of the illustration, it's just simple going over everything with like another layer and stuff. It is funny looking back and seeing how much I changed from my sketch to my line art, which you will see in the time-lapsed version of this. But it's just a lot of back and forth with design. And I was trying to like take elements from my original drawing and bring them into the new drawing. Like techniques and tricks that I know I used to use when I was like back in 2021. It's so weird. It's been 4 years and I don't draw like that anymore. So it's just a nice surprise looking back at everything and just going, I got good. I really got good. But that's all I have to say for like my sketching process and character design process. I don't have a lot to say when it comes to why I do things for me because my justification is that I wanted to. Like I did it because I wanna. And it's really hard for me to articulate that to like you guys because I'm like, I know you guys want like an in-depth behind the scenes look into my brain. I cannot stress this enough. I get an idea and I run with it. There is no further thought here. I'm free balling it. I said, fuck it, we ball. And that's just how I live. And that's just how I draw. But I do hope this was helpful. So, sketching, that took a lot longer than I anticipated, but I really wanted to draw something I'd be proud of. So I went in on the detailing and everything, and I'll let you guys watch a quick time lapse of everything from my first skeleton sketches to second passes, wardrobe, adding their defining features. I was really struggling with like the face. I don't know, something about the eyes and the mouth didn't look right, so I ended up going for like a closed eye expression, and that fixed it right up. And that's everything. So it took me about 43 minutes and 10 seconds to get all of this sketched out. So we're going to move on to the line art off camera, and then I'm going to jump back in to show you guys a little bit of my coloring process. So as I mentioned before, they were just all primary colors for their wardrobe and everything. So when it came to like me doing this digitally, it was a back, and you're gonna see so much color flip-flopping. I played around with like the saturation tool, like the scroll bar, to try and figure out what colors looked good together. I was having a hard time trying to figure out what color palette I wanted to go for, because I thought that I could, use the same colors from the drawing, but then I was just like, no, I want to do something different, and I didn't have a plan, as I mentioned earlier, for anything else in the drawing when it came to color palettes. So I was just like, poo. I knew I wanted gold. I wanted gold detailing, and I knew their hair was going to be teal, so I had to come up with a color palette that didn't clash with those two colors that were going to be like the main parts of the illustration. And there was a period where I was really staring at this drawing before any of the changes. Like I put down all these colors, and there is a long period in this time lapse where you're gonna see me really trying to make the I could only describe it as pickle green. Like I really thought the pickle green was going to stay. And I settled on it. I was just like, yep, this is gonna work. It's fine. It's not, bad. It's gonna work and everything's gonna look cute. And I really tried to sell myself on that color. Like, I jumped to doing the background to avoid finishing the coloring on the actual outfit because I just couldn't make it work. And I didn't want to, like, put any thought into changing it. I was so over it. But I wanted to get this illustration done. So I just went back and forth with, like, detailing, coloring. I colored the line art before I really sat down and was just like, this outfit's not it. The colors are not working. I am happy with the colors I ended up with. I ended up with like a sage green for the bodysuit instead of the pickle green. And I did go back and change the blue to like a baby blue color, so I'm happy. And here is the final illustration. I did go back and forth with like the colors and everything, but I am happy with what I settled with. Like this baby blue sage green combo looked really pretty, and it really lets like the green gems pop more as opposed to what I had before. So here's some up close looks at them. I added makeup to them, which is something I don't usually do with my illustrations, but I do wear makeup, so I wanted to add that in here. I liked the colored line art that I did for everything. The reddish orange background I did because orange complements blue and I wanted them to really pop off of each other. And then it like toned down the yellows and golds a little bit. So I am happy with how that turned out. I do like my little white outline that I did around certain like areas here. Oh, and something new that I've created was a logo stamp for my illustration. So I made that. It's my usual logo. I just added my username underneath it so that when I finish illustrations, I can like stamp it. I kind of want to get it made physically, but that costs money. So, hey, if you want to support the channel, check out my Ko-fi page and maybe consider donating. But if I don't do anything like that, I might make it myself with like an eraser and like cut it out, but I'm not very good with all of that, so I probably would just order a custom stamp if I go that route. But I do want to thank everyone for stopping by and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed the digital setup that I did for my illustrations and stuff, and let me know if you want to see more of my digital artwork or more of my traditional artwork, because I do like messing around with both like fields of design and art. So, I'm open to suggestions in the comment section. So that's all I have planned for today. I will have more videos coming out this month, so keep an eye out. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!